There is a quiet belief that many people carry through their lives without ever fully questioning it. A belief that sits beneath ambition, beneath discipline, beneath the constant urge to improve. The feeling that no matter what you do, it is never quite enough. It does not always show itself loudly. Sometimes it appears as restlessness, sometimes as perfectionism, sometimes as the inability to enjoy what you have already achieved. And often, it disguises itself as motivation. You tell yourself that you just need to do more, become more, fix a few things about yourself, and then finally, you will feel at peace. But that moment never arrives, because the problem was never effort. For many people, this feeling began long before adulthood, not as a conscious thought, but as an emotional pattern formed in moments where approval felt conditional, where love felt earned rather than given, and where being yourself did not feel like a safe option. You learned early on that being good was rewarded, that being impressive was noticed, and that being quiet or agreeable often kept things stable. And slowly, without realizing it, your sense of worth became tied to performance rather than presence. You did not decide this consciously. You adapted. And adaptation, when repeated long enough, starts to feel like identity. So you grew up carrying an internal pressure that followed you into adulthood. A pressure to prove yourself, to justify your place, to stay ahead of disappointment, even when no one was actively demanding it from you anymore. And this is where the confusion begins. Because from the outside, you might be doing well. You might be functioning, achieving, progressing. Yet internally, there is a constant sense that something is missing, that you are behind in some invisible way, that others are somehow more complete, more confident, more secure than you. You begin comparing your inner world to other people's outer lives. And in that comparison, you always lose. Not because you are lacking, but because you are measuring something internal against something curated. Over time, this creates a subtle disconnection from yourself. You stop trusting your own pace. You stop resting without guilt. You stop feeling proud without immediately looking ahead to what still needs fixing. And eventually, you forget what it feels like to exist without evaluating yourself. For many men, this belief hides behind productivity and control. You stay busy, you stay disciplined, you stay focused, not always because it brings fulfillment, but because slowing down would force you to sit with the feeling that you are trying to outrun. Stillness becomes uncomfortable, not because it is empty, but because it is honest. The truth is that feeling not good enough is rarely about who you are today. It is about who you had to become in order to be accepted earlier in life. It is about the parts of you that learned to perform, to adapt, to suppress, and to endure, and then never learned how to stop. You are not broken. You are carrying an outdated rule that says your value must be earned continuously. And rules like that do not disappear on their own. They dissolve slowly, through awareness, through noticing the voice that pushes you harder even when you are exhausted, through recognizing the moment you dismiss your own progress as irrelevant, through catching yourself chasing validation that never actually satisfies you. This does not mean you abandon growth. It means you separate growth from self-rejection. Because improvement driven by curiosity feels different than improvement driven by fear. One expands you, the other exhausts you. There is a version of you beneath this belief, a version that does not need to be fixed before it can be accepted, a version that was never allowed to exist without conditions. That version has not disappeared. It has simply been waiting. And the moment you begin to see that your worth is not something you need to constantly prove, something inside you starts to soften. You still grow, you still move forward, but you are no longer running from yourself while doing it. And that shift, quiet, subtle, internal, is where real confidence begins. Not confidence as performance, but confidence as peace.